cashmere and vanilla deodorant. 24/7 cologne quality scent.
I chose Shopify because when I was testing other platforms, it was definitely one of the.
On the 16th of April 2025, scientists reported a high probability that they had found signs of life on another planet. And no, this isn't the start to a sci-fi story. This is real. The planet in question is K2-18b, a planet more than twice the size of ours, located a mere 124 light years away from Earth. Two chemicals, dimethyl sulfide and dimethyl disulfide, were spotted in the atmosphere of K2-18b thanks to spectroscopic readings taken by the powerful James Webb Space Telescope. Why does this matter? On Earth, these chemicals are only produced by living things, generated as waste by bacteria and phytoplankton. There were over 20 times more of these gases on K2-18b than we see even on Earth, and they were identified with a 99.7% confidence. So this result is perhaps the strongest sign yet that we are not alone in the universe. There's a very real chance that K2-18b is teeming with life. Of course, the universe is a vast place, and perhaps there is another explanation for the presence of these chemicals. This does not prove aliens for sure. Still, 124 light years is not really that far away compared to the rest of the cosmos. If life is really there, which is a mind-boggling thought, it really makes you wonder, how implausible is it that alien life from this kind of planet somehow found its way to Earth? Perhaps the odds are not so out there. At least, so say the United States Congress. Because, according to them, we've known about non-human intelligences for a long time. They are already here, and the US military has been covering it up for decades. I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astro. And in light of the recent UFO day, it's time to take a closer look at the very real battle raging right now between the US Pentagon and Congress over the alleged existence of alien spacecraft. Congress seems certain that the military is hiding retrieved alien technology, and the Pentagon is not doing a very good job at proving them wrong. But why do I say that? Well, let's start at the beginning. Those of you that are long-time viewers of this channel will remember that back in May 2023, we did a video on the US Congress's resurgence in interest in the topic of UFOs. It's a topic that carries a lot of stigma. People who claim to have seen flying saucers are often treated as a little bit delusional. The whole thing feeling more at home as an urban legend. In 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a report on Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, UAP, that made the whole thing seem much more mainstream. According to the government report, UAP, a less stigmatized acronym than UFO, but referring to the same sorts of things, were real and were messing with America's Navy pilots. Their frequent appearance in US airspace and training areas clearly pose a significant safety of flight issue and may pose a challenge to US national security. To be exact, they were getting so close to US jets that pilots sometimes had to swerve to avoid them. In 2022, in an open congressional hearing, high-ranking members of defense and naval intelligence told Congress that this was happening frequently enough that it had become important to find out what these things were. This was no easy task, as UAP came in many different varieties, and so presumably required different explanations. Some were drones that followed Navy ships for hours. Some were orbs photographed outside of cockpit windows, and some seemingly exhibited strange flight characteristics that couldn't be accounted for. Incredible incredible top speeds that broke the sound barrier, yet created no sonic boom. Being able to accelerate and turn on a dime in a way no fighter jet could hope to match, or hovering motionless in the face of high winds with no visible means of propulsion. It was these that had Congress and the Navy worried. While the others could possibly be explained as enemy spying action or simple weather balloons blown off course, some of these hinted at an intelligent force with a technological advantage over the US, and the Navy had no idea who was operating them or what their intentions were. Congress ordered the Pentagon to create a new department called ARROW, or the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, in July 2022, and tasked them to use a data-driven and scientific approach to figuring out what UAP were. ARROW set to work and quickly identified 510 cases of reported UAPs, such as the curious and inexplicable Mosul orb, which was seen flying over a war zone in Iraq. However, Congress became unsatisfied with the answers that ARROW was giving. ARROW's first hearing in
Who left the water running?
Water. Everyone's thinking about it. And Texas data centers are too. They use less than 0.5% of all water used in the state. And many recycle the water they do use, conserving more water in the areas where they operate.
Huh, that makes sense.
Texas data centers are built responsibly.
I do want to talk to that. You guys do have Mystery Boys podcast.
Yes.
Because do you feel like, because you and I have both had a series of podcasts over the years, do you still have your own podcast?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is my newest podcast with the brilliant Kurt Metzger, the Mystery Boys.
Yeah, he's on my prayer list. I know that.
He's awesome, and he's just, man, his brain just absorbs esoteric information.
Yes.
He remembers like names of ancient grimoires that are hard to pronounce. His knowledge of occult history is amazing. It's like it's just a brilliant dude.
Oh, dude, his knowledge of Charizards from another realm is something we can't fathom. I also, one thing I love about Kurt is I love his voice. He has a great voice.
Oh yeah.
It's fun to listen to. It's this kind of futuristic, but